Hello, good afternoon. I hope you're doing well. I am Siley Bella. I am the Operations Manager here at Wickham Financial and Insurance Services. Here with us today is Graham Wickham, President and CEO of Wickham Financial and Insurance Services. Graham, tell us what happened last week.
Yeah, thank you, Soleil. Thanks for jumping on the call, and thanks for all of our listeners jumping on the call. Yeah, last week we had a reasonably good performance in the market. I mean, the S&P hit some all-time highs. The Nasdaq probably moderating a little bit, but still eked out a bit of a gain. What were the leaders last week? I'd probably say the underperformers, at least from a sector standpoint. If we look at small caps, mid caps, they were the ones that really surged very strongly. We looked at Treasury yields that also pulled back. From a sector standpoint, the laggards were the leaders. We saw real estate outperform, and we saw healthcare outperform. Now, on that note, why? Well, we saw some comments from Federal Reserve, Fed Chairman Powell coming out emphasizing some labor market risk that they want to watch because we have seen unemployment moving up. But at the same time, they are seeing some potential or alluding at some potential softening that we're seeing in the inflationary environment, and that might translate into some lower interest rates, spurring the market. Well, if we look over at consumer sentiment, that fell for the 8-month low. At the same time, we saw inflation expectations ease for next year. If we go overseas, we did see the euro gain against the US dollar. We did also notice that the MSCI, the EAFE index, international index, that was up about 2.3%. Again, I really think we're looking at the laggards or the underperformers leading now, since the US large cap has really been the outperformer from a global standpoint. If we go into this next week, what's going to be in focus? Well, from a US side, we'll be looking at retail sales. We'll be looking at housing data. Fed chairman's going to be coming out, talking to the Economic Club of Washington. We'll also be looking at earnings season, continue to push forward. We had big banks come out on Friday. So JP Morgan, Bank of America, so on and so forth Citigroup came out on Friday, set the tone, solid earnings. And we're going to be rolling into those today with Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Netflix, so on and so forth. So we're really starting to get into the heart of earnings season, which is going to pick up steam here real quick. Now, internationally, kind of economics. We're going to be looking at retail sales, GDP numbers coming from China. We'll be looking at some interest rate decisions, maybe coming out of the UK, maybe England with a rate decision. We'll be looking at some employment wage reports. We're looking at some CPI numbers. And then Canada and Japan, they're reporting some additional inflationary numbers. And then we're going to kind of wrap it up with some sentiment numbers that will be coming from the Eurozone. Soleil?
Thank you, Graham. It looks like the markets have had some rotation as of late. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. We're really seeing kind of a broadening out, and that's not what we've seen for the most part. Maybe started a bit, last year around right after Halloween to the end of the year, first part of the year, and then it kind of died off again. We got that concentration back in the AI tech names where I think we're really seeing that broaden out. Why do we see that? Well, I think it's all coming back to that inflation getting tame or coming down a bit. The talk from the Fed that maybe they're going to go ahead and start to lower some interest rates this year, or the anticipation of. And I think that's helping small caps, mid caps, those interest rate sensitive sides of the market like real estate, banks, who have already been doing well, just doing better. Healthcare, just kind of looking back some of those laggard areas, could even be utilities if we kind of pick up some steam here with the rhetoric of lower rates going forward. So absolutely right. We are seeing a rotation. We'll just see what legs this has. How long could this last? That's going to be the real question mark.
Thank you, Graham. I want to remind everyone of our retirement planning today classes that will take place in August. If you or anybody that you know is interested in the A to Z in financial planning, please ask them to visit our website for more details. Thank you so much for being in our call today, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.